What is up, guys? Welcome back to Mainly Movies, a channel where we talk about, well, mainly movies. So welcome back to another Halloween horror special 80s edition. In today's video we're going to be reviewing a childhood terror of mine, and that is the original Child's Play from 1988. So Child's Play is about Andy Barclay, a kid who gets a new doll. It's the new doll everyone's talking about. It's the good guy doll. Andy's mother has been searching through thick and thin to find one of these, and when she buys one off a sketchy figure, she brings it home and they find out that the doll has the soul of a mass murderer in it.
Bed, Andy.
Good night, baby.
Good night, Aunt Maggie. Good night, Chucky.
Chucky is an all-time just terror of mine. Not so much now, but when I was a kid, this was the most frightening movie, or the most frightening character from a movie that I knew growing up as a kid. And you might think, oh, okay, you know, you had a bit of a fear of Chucky when you were growing up, but no, this was more than a fear. This was terrifying. Like, my parents, they always torment me with Chucky because they knew that I was afraid of Chucky. There was a store in a mall near mine, like a shopping center, and they used to have a Chucky doll like in the window, and I couldn't even walk on that side of the shopping center. I had to walk on the opposite side, and whenever I saw it at the DVD store, I would just like burst out crying. And basically, like, any time I heard the name Chucky back when I was a kid, I would start crying. But it wasn't until I was probably about, I don't know, 9, 10, maybe 11, where I just kind of got over that, and I wasn't really scared of it anymore. But it wasn't until my early teens when I actually finally watched the movie, and yeah. But I can honestly say, like it was the fact that it was a doll, something that like I used to play with when I was a kid. Like if one of my action figures just came to life and just wanted to kill me, that's terrifying. Like, that to me is a scary thought. Do any of you remember that movie Toy Soldiers, where like the G.I. Joes and all that and the Barbie dolls and everything, they came to life? That movie scared me. I'm not even kidding. That movie scared me. Like, I was alright with Toy Story because it's like an animated film, but Toy Soldiers used to frighten me, especially the scene with the Barbie dolls. I couldn't watch that movie. It just terrified me. Just let me know in the comments if you've ever watched Toy Soldiers. I don't know why, but this Child's Play kind of reminds me of that. I don't know. It's just creepy. But in Toy Soldiers, they were like mutant, like G.I. Joe kind of army men. Yeah, I don't know. This movie just kind of reminded me of that film. But anyway, yes, Child's Play. Let's get back to talking about it. Child's Play is it's pretty tame, like with the kills and all that. So I'll get into that more in a minute. And I like with these Halloween horror special videos, I like to talk about whether they're scary or not. And because it's 80 edition, like I said, I can't really judge whether it was scary back in the day or not. I can only guess. I have a feeling that most of these were kind of frightening because they continue to make more and more sequels of most of the movies that I talk about. So I'm just guessing that they were very popular, they were scary, and they did well in the box office, so they continued making more and making more money off them. But Child's Play, I think especially this film, if you go back and watch it, it's like really kind of just, if somebody wanted to make this movie now, that I don't think they could, just because I mean, they could try and make it as campy as, you know, 80s films, but I just don't think it would work as well as, you know, it being from the 80s. But yeah, these movies aren't scary, especially the sequels. They just get more and more crazy as they go along. There isn't really a kill in this movie that I can actually remember. Like, I rewatched this movie, but I just can't remember any kills. Like, I can remember when the babysitter falls from the window, and then that kind of like sparks everything in the movie. But other than that, I can't remember any kills. I think the movie was tame because the main character of the film was a kid. So obviously they didn't want to get rid of Andy. And Andy becomes like a very big part of the franchise later on. They don't really do much in terms of like gory kills. Later on in the later Chucky's, that's a whole different story. I've noticed that with the Child's Play movies, let's just say Child's Play 1, 2, and 3, those movies have stayed consistent with the M rating. I think 1, 2, and 3 are all M-rated. They don't really get like very violent, but it's not until like Seed and Bride of Chucky where they start to get into like the gory kills, and they just focused on that, like just regular slasher films. And then they made the 2 R-rated ones, which are Cult and Curse of Chucky, which I've watched Curse, and it's not that bad. But Cult just kind of looks like some shitty art house film they're trying to make. And the remake, well, I mean, the remake up here, I'll put a link to my review for that one. They're not that gory. I just love watching these movies for the shit that Chucky says. Absolutely hilarious. And as the movies go on, they just got even more and more sillier. I think by the 3rd Child's Play movie is where they realize, like, these movies aren't taken seriously. I mean, it's in a fucking military camp, like, with kids. And there's a scene in that movie where Chucky replaces like paint pellets or something with real bullets, and they're killing each other, and it's just like it's so dumb, but it's hilarious. But the first movie doesn't really have that. The first movie is like generally trying to scare you. So, but honestly, I've grown to kind of like Chucky. I think what it is when I was a kid, I was that terrified of it that when I got into my early teens and I watched Child's Play for the first time, I was just so I was scared of this. This isn't that terrifying, you know. I was a bit let down by the result of watching Chucky for the first time. I will admit that it is a creative film. Don Mancini, who like created these films, he's just a madman. Like, he just loves. This is just his franchise, and they're continuing the original like story from Child's Play, from like Seed and Bride and all that. They're continuing that off with a TV series, which is coming very soon. But yeah, so Child's Play is just fun. It's just a fun horror film. I would they get more towards comedy in the other ones, but I will say that this film is a horror, and I did really want to talk about this film because it's just great. But like, the shit that Chucky says is fucking hilarious. The doll swearing, I feel like, is just like what they wanted. Like the first scene where she's like, "Say something, goddammit," and then he's just like, "You fucking bitch, you fucking slaughter, fucking," and then he's like trying to like stab her. That's crazy.
I said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
You can't beat the animatronics. Like, they use the animatronics in the Child's Play movie, and it's great. It's better than like CGI, and I knew they were gonna do that with the new like remake thing that they made with Mark Hamill voicing Chucky. And also another thing, Brad Dourif voicing Chucky is great as well. He's got that voice. And you see him at the start when he curses himself in the doll. I think out of all the Child's Play movies, my favourite would be the first one. It's just very... I mean, actually, if I wanted to choose my favourite, I'd probably go for the third one, just because it's so balls to the wall and stupid and silly. But the first one I actually really like. I think it's a generally interesting horror movie. I wouldn't say scary horror movie, but it's an interesting horror movie with a really cool concept, and it's also like kind of a social commentary on consumables, like just on purchasing toys and like the marketing of toys and how kids get so crazy. It's like very subtle social commentary, but it's in there. But anyway, guys, that's all I really have to say about Child's Play. I think it's a great classic horror film. One that terrified the shit out of me as a kid. And I would like to know in the comments below what was the movie that terrified you as a child, because this was it for me. Not so much the film, just the character itself, Chucky. But what was it? Was it Scream? Because I think it was Scream that used to scare my brother. So it could have been like something that was actually meant for kids. But I'd love to know. Whatever it is, just leave a comment as to what was your childhood trauma. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.